The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Jakar of the Vrex Dominion slammed all four of his chitinous fists against the obsidian table. His species had ruled the Andromeda Arm for 3 millennia, their reputation as the galaxy's most fearsome warriors unquestioned, until humanity arrived. This is preposterous. Jakar's mandibles clicked furiously. The Vrex do not require protection from anyone, least of all these primates. Commander Sarah Chen stood calmly at the opposite end of the chamber, her hands clasped behind her back. She had anticipated this reaction. Every species did this when they first learned the truth about humanity's role in the galaxy. "Ambassador," she said evenly, "with respect, your military just requested our assistance for the 5th time this cycle. The pattern is clear." Jakar's ochre eyes narrowed. "We requested tactical support for a mining operation in the Kepler expanse. Nothing more." "A mining operation," Sarah repeated, pulling up a holographic display. "In a sector where your survey teams discovered dilithium deposits 3 weeks ago, and where coincidentally you've established a colony of 200,000 VREX civilians." She zoomed in on the data, including 47,000 juveniles. The ambassador's silence spoke volumes. Council Arbiter Melanthos, a crystalline being who had mediated galactic disputes for centuries, rotated toward Jakar. "Ambassador, perhaps you should explain why the Vrex, who have defeated the Korthian swarms, who have crushed the Silicon Collective, who have never retreated from any battlefield, suddenly need human tactical support whenever your young are present." Jakar's exoskeleton darkened, a sign of embarrassment among his kind. "The Kepler expanse has complications. The Ravagers have been spotted in that sector." "The Ravagers," Sarah said softly, "who have avoided human space for the past 15 years, who flee at the mere detection of our ships. Tell me, Ambassador, when was the last time the Ravagers attacked a colony under human protection?" The silence stretched. Everyone in the chamber knew the answer. Never. It had started 20 years ago, shortly after humanity joined the galactic community. The Kryn, a predatory species that had terrorized the outer colonies for generations, had attacked a joint human-Talaxian settlement. They had expected easy prey. The Talaxians were a peaceful, scholarly race and humans were newcomers, untested in galactic warfare. What the Kryn found instead was a nightmare. The human response had been swift and absolutely merciless. Not against the Kryn warriors. Humanity had dispatched them with efficient brutality. But in what came after? Human ships tracked every single Kryn raiding party back to their homeworld. They identified the Kryn's breeding grounds, their nurseries, their schools, and then they surrounded them. The message was simple. Touch our children or our allies' children ever again, and we will visit upon your young what you have visited upon ours. We will not strike first, but we will ensure that any species that harms the defenseless will understand that their own defenseless are equally vulnerable. No shot was ever fired at those Kryn nurseries. Humanity simply waited, watched, made their presence known. The Kryn never attacked a colony again. Word spread through the galaxy like a shockwave. Humanity didn't just protect their own young. They extended that protection to anyone who needed it, with a zealotry that bordered on religious fervor. But more terrifying to would-be aggressors was the implication. Harm any child under human protection, and humanity would hold your children hostage to your own mercy. It was the ultimate deterrent, and it worked. Within 5 years, dozens of species had quietly requested human tactical support in regions where their young were vulnerable. The proud Vrex, the martial Ketheri, even the solitary void whales asked humanity to patrol their spawning grounds. Sarah advanced the hologram showing decades of data. In the 20 years since humanity assumed this role, attacks on civilian populations have dropped by 94%. Child mortality rates across 47 species have reached historic lows. Piracy in protected zones has virtually ceased. Because you threatened children, Jakar finally exploded. You weaponized the most sacred. We have never harmed a single juvenile of any species. Sarah cut him off, her voice like steel. Not one. Every species in this chamber knows this. What we have done is make it clear that those who prey on the helpless will find that their own helpless are just as reachable. She stepped forward, her eyes meeting Jakar's compound gaze. You call it a threat. We call it mutually assured compassion. Every species protects what they value most, but only when they know others will do the same. Before humanity, there was no guarantee. Now there is, Arbiter Melnthos chimed softly, a sound like wind through crystal. The ambassador raises a valid philosophical concern, Commander Chen. Your species has created peace through the promise of a terrible action you claim you will never take. Is this not paradoxical? Sarah smiled grimly. Arbiter, there's an old saying from Earth, si vis pacem para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. Humanity learned long ago that predators respect only one thing, the certainty that their violence will be visited back upon what they love most. We don't want to hurt anyone's children. We desperately hope we never have to make good on our positioning. But every predator in this galaxy needs to know that if they cross that line, we are capable of crossing it too. She gestured to the star map, where hundreds of human vessels patrolled shipping lanes, colony worlds, and spawning grounds across dozens of sectors. The difference between us and the predators, Ambassador, is that we genuinely lose sleep over the idea of harming innocents. They don't. And that's precisely why they believe we'll do it, because they would. Jakar slowly settled back into his seat. When he finally spoke, his voice had lost its edge. There are 17 Vrex colony worlds currently under human patrol. My own granddaughter lives on one of them. I know, Sarah said gently. My daughter is stationed at the outpost protecting her colony. She has orders to defend those children with her life. All of them. The ambassador was quiet for a long moment. Then, almost imperceptibly, he bowed his head, a gesture of deep respect among the Vrex. The Dominion will continue to request your tactical support, Commander Chen, and we will be grateful for it. As the council session adjourned, Arbiter Melnthos approached Sarah privately. Your species is either the galaxy's greatest protectors or its most magnificent bluffers. Commander, Sarah looked out at the stars, thinking of her daughter, of Jakar's granddaughter, of all the children sleeping safely because predators believed humanity's promise. Arbiter, she said quietly, I truly hope we never have to find out which.